Thank you, Avery. Hard work is something that we all need to do. To be successful, you have to work hard. Last up for this year is a speech about a grandfather. I have spoken a lot about grandfathers. They are inspirational, aspirational, yada, yada, yada. I think we should talk about how much fun you can have with them. Baseball games, board games, building things, the list goes on and on. I say that is why they have such an influence on your life. They have fun with you. That is what matters. This speaker is a very good friend of mine. I have known him for 9 years. We have done so much together that it is impossible to say them all. The last inspiration speech for the class of 2022 is Mr. Carter Pasko. Go ahead. Take us away.
The person I chose for my inspiration speech is my pup-up. He was born in Grenada, West Indies, where he lived with his parents and 3 sisters. Grenada is an island in the Caribbean Ocean close to South America. He began his working career with the Bank of Nova Scotia and was fortunate to continue working with the same bank when he immigrated to the U.S. in 1971. He worked with the Bank of Nova Scotia for 46 years and received several promotions and awards throughout the years because of his dedication, passion, and hard work. He was diagnosed with colon cancer in 2004, way before I was even born. Just so you guys know, I was born in 2007. What really inspired me most about my pup-up was that he never gave up fighting his cancer. He continued working at his job in New York City and also traveling internationally for work, even while receiving chemotherapy treatments. He would lose his hair and get super sick, but he still went to work. The only time he didn't work was when he had surgery and rehab after the cancer would metastasize or move to another organ in his body. He told his family that he would continue to fight his cancers with everything he had in his body, which he did for 12 years. I believe I developed my pup-up strength as I myself continued to recuperate from my accident. Pup-up unfortunately lost his battle against cancer in September of 2016. He was only 68 years old, still a young man with lots of life left to live. I cried for many months afterwards, and at times I still shed some tears to this day. He was a very important aspect in my life, and it's extremely sad to know that he's gone. But I know that my pup-up is no longer suffering, and that he is watching over me every single day. My pup-up was also important to me for other reasons. For example, he was the one who introduced me to the sport of NASCAR, starting back in about 2014. We used to watch it together every week. I looked forward to the races because we had different favorite drivers. He cheered for Kyle Busch, and of course, I'm Joey Logano. Those were some loud and fun times. Now I watch NASCAR not only because I love it, but because in a way, I'm keeping one of our favorite traditions alive. We also watched a lot of football together. My entire family loves the Steelers, so we would watch every single game together. Those were certainly some good times. And as you could see, he wasn't just my pup-up. He was also my best friend, and we were extremely close. I would always trust him to keep a secret or rely on him to help me whenever I needed to get something accomplished. And he would always trust or rely on me for anything else. He taught me how to be strong when life brings you down, and how to find the bright side in any bad situation. Pup-up also enjoyed fishing, and during his working career, he took a 2-year leave of absence from work to dedicate to fishing. He purchased 2 fishing boats and set out to run a fishing business back in Grenada. He and his team did open water fishing out in the Caribbean Ocean and would catch huge swordfish. However, that passion ended and he returned to his banking career at the Bank of Nova Scotia. He did, however, keep his fishing passion alive by spending time and teaching me all about fishing. I enjoyed the special time we had together. My pup-up certainly played a huge role in my life, and still does to this day. He was a good man, he had a big heart, and his family was the most important aspect of his life. He was always determined not to let his cancer defeat him. If he was still alive, he would definitely give me a really big hug. Because let me tell you a little something, he gave the best hugs ever. He would hug me and I would just feel all of my worries and sadness just blow away in the wind. In fact, he could hug any of you guys. And I would bet every dollar that I've got that you will feel all of your problems just disappear. He was certainly my personal hero, and that is why I chose him for my inspirational speech. Thank you. I will now be taking questions at this time. The question was, how old was I when my papa passed away? I was about 9. Abby. The question was, do I have a favorite memory of him? I gotta say, it was when he took me fishing for the first time. Marathame. The question was, have I ever been to Grenada? No, I have not. Ms. Franzition. So funny story. When we went fishing for the first time, we actually didn't catch anything. We actually didn't catch any fish. The biggest thing I caught was the thing of seaweed. Yep, Ms. Mitchell. That I got to spend time with him, especially since it was one of the last moments that we had back in New Jersey, because it was right at that moment where my brother was born and we moved away from our hometown. Andrea. Yes, he did. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Carter. It is touching how much time you spent with your grandfather. Let's give Cheyenne, Avery, and Carter a huge round of applause. So, folks, that was the last speech for the class of 2022. Has it been fun? I was about ready to have no one applaud. Okay, that was better than I thought. We have seen a lot of speeches, 32 to be precise. They have ranged from family members to celebrities to chickens to video game creators and even presidents. All of these speeches, though incredibly different, have one thing in common. They describe who inspires you and why. That sharing is something I treasure, and I hope you do as well. On a more personal note, it has been such an honor to introduce all these speeches. I've had a lot of fun writing these introductions, and I hope all of you have enjoyed them. Because of these speeches, I have been named Student of the Month, have worked closely with Ms. Coffey and Mr. Regal, and all of you to make these speeches happen. It's been a wild ride, so thank you for riding it with me. Now, before we sign off for the last time, I would like to give a round of applause to Ms. Coffey and Mr. Regal. If these two people didn't work as tirelessly as they do, these speeches would not happen. I'm seriously not kidding on this one. They would not happen. Thank you guys for coming for the last 4 months. I wish you all the best. Now I'll turn the podium over to Ms. Coffey. Are we turning it over to Ms. Coffey? Okay. Goodbye, have a good spring break, and I will see you after the break. Poor Sarah, people are walking on my street.